Namaste. Welcome to our beautiful soul family. I can see many of our soul sisters there. It's so wonderful to be with you on this Soul to Soul podcast. We're going to be talking about ushering in the new dawn, in particular after the storms. But before then, we have a few announcements to make, so I'm going to hand you over to Paul. He's just going to make a quick few announcements and then we're going to continue on with this podcast.
Okay, so you may have seen where we said this is the last live lounge that we're doing, and that's because we're no longer going live. We're going to start pre-recording, although the videos will be put onto YouTube in the usual way, in the same way. But also, we're no longer going to be known as the Soul Crew Live Lounge. No. We're now going to be Soul to Soul Conversations podcast.
Yeah, because originally, I don't know, those of you that have been with us a while, we had Christine Althea with us, bless her heart. And then because of work commitments, it came to be just Paul and I, which we really enjoy as well. So we feel that it's just time for a change, really. So, yeah, and Soul to Soul has been part of my work for 4 decades. In the UK, my healing centre was the Soul to Soul Healing Centre. So it seems just a natural thing to carry that through. And we are Soul to Soul Conversations on Spotify as well, for those of you that follow us on Spotify. So I hand you back to Paul. Anything else?
Okay, so, well, basically, we just wanted to get the ball rolling by all the recent storms that we've been having and the amount of fear that has been generated within people, and primarily coming from the likes of the media. And a lot of it has been over-exaggerated. Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of friends in the UK.
Well, just the night of the storm, just before it all began, my phone just didn't stop tinging with friends from the UK. And I said to Paul, something must have been reported there. Let's look. So we went on to iPlayer, and lo and behold, on the news, they'd reported that it was going to be a Hurricane 5. It was going to be the worst we've ever seen in this generation. That if you didn't evacuate Florida, you would die. That there was going to be thousands. It was just absolutely insane. Yeah. But the sad thing with that really is that, you know, I spoke to my sister and a friend today, and both of them said their grandchildren and their children were so worried about me. And I just thought, you know, the way the media continue to create and generate this fear, you know, it's just not acceptable in my mind, because it just creates further anxiety and further fear. So, as you know, those of you that live in Florida, we've had 3 storms. We had Storm Debbie, and then we had Storm Helene, and then Hurricane Milton. And through them all, you know, we were very lucky and very blessed. We didn't have any damage. Some of our friends did. But the good thing, the amazing thing about the Floridian people and the people that live here, they all came together in beautiful community. Yeah. There was lots of meditations and I connected to the consciousness of these storms and the hurricane well before the day, and sending that energy to calm it down, to cool it down, you know. And because globally people all came together, because there are so many light workers, healers and energy workers, aren't there, here in Florida, that just caused such a huge, I think, in my mind, a miraculous change in what could have been, you know, a lot worse than it actually was.
I think there was a lot of coming together of people and like-minded people, and realising that a lot of what was going on and what was being said was being exaggerated. Yeah. And that fear that was being generated was actually really stilting people and stunting people, creating a stagnation within people. And we were talking about this, and we were saying, well, really, in a way, it's kind of leading to a clearing and a cleansing, in the same way that those winds have cleared away any dead parts of nature, like dead branches and things. and we can do the same within ourselves, where we can create space for our growth.
Yeah, but I think going back to this collective of us all coming together, this is something that, you know, many of us are doing and are starting to take more of an action and to coming together, because when we come together as the divine beings that we are, we have infinite power and we can change things, you know. And I can see that energy that was radiated out from so many of us really did make a change, and that is the positive thing to focus on, that people came together, they came together in light and love, and it created a greater peace. I mean, to be honest, I was never anxious at any point whatsoever, but that's not to say that we didn't prepare, because we do know we did prepare earlier in the year in case there was any power outages. We had a mini generator in the home that is solar powered, but also powered by the electricity. We had a lot of battery operated things, or battery operated fans, because you could imagine with no AC, you could melt. And we also had a little gas camper thing that we cooked on, as well as preparing food ahead of time. You know, I cooked some spicy brown rice with all sorts of vegetables and things in it. So, but I think preparing when you remain peaceful and calm, you are a lot more creative. Your mind is a lot clearer, because you're not feeding in to this anxiety-driven media that creates all this frenzy, you know. So again, just remember, listen to your heart, listen to what feels right for you. And I think that is always going to be the way forwards.
But I think for me, you said the key thing was about peacefulness, tranquility, and that's an inner peace and an inner tranquility, and it's allowing ourselves to connect to that. And the more that we can let go, we can actually start making space for more of those elements to us, and using that collective community that's supporting that very ethos and that whole energy of us growing in that more positive way.
And I think also it highlighted how, you know, technology takes such a part in these things, you know. Without, you know, I think a lot of us are quite, you know, sometimes spend way too much time on our phones. You know, I've seen friends that the phone lights up and they're responding straight away. And again, it's that reaction, whereas I do my best. You know, there's no way that, you know, any of us are perfect, but I do my best to not be governed by my phone. You know, I have it on silent all day. I check it when I have time to check it. But technology,
well, I mean, it is part of our lives, and it's an important part of our lives, but it's not becoming slaves to it. And the thing, when we lost power, made us re-look at what we were doing and how we went about things, and we actually started having more conversations with each other. We were playing games, we were spending time. We had a friend who stayed with us, who was actually doing some painting and drawing.
Amazing work.
And the more peaceful and the more calm we can be, it actually amplifies our creativity. And in those moments, we can really let our energy flow into that more positive direction of taking us into things that we really want to do.
I think when we turn our attention to that creativity within us, then we expand that creativity, we expand our connection to our higher consciousness. And it's very much now a time, as we said, this cleansing and clearing. It's like a reset after the hurricane. We have cleared out so much stuff, and so many people and friends we've spoken to have said the same thing. Got rid of things that, you know, were maybe some of the emotional baggage. We actually did a deep cellular cleansing ceremony with 3 friends in the past couple of weeks, using energy work, using sound healing, using energetic codes and light language together with our guides. And we've done an amazing ceremony of clearing emotional things, clearing things that people felt stuck with and was perhaps creating a blockage in them moving forwards. And that's something that we are going to be offering, because it was such a powerful ceremony.
Yeah, really powerful.
So look out for that on our website. But you know, because we worked through all dimensions of emotional baggage, all dimensional and timelines and long held things that went way back, even into other lifetimes. So we did a lot of clearing. But I think this hurricane was bringing in that energy to say there's got to be change, and we need to focus on the essence of who we really are. And this is a time of bringing in this greater harmony, of connecting more to our higher consciousness, so we can create this new world that we're moving into. You know, we said we can't move into a new world with all this old baggage, all this hurt, all this anger, whatever it is. We need to really release that. So, you know, as you all know, everything is energy, and we need these old emotions that sit in our cells needs to be cleansed, needs to be released, so we can move forward with more joy, with that stronger and clearer connection to who we truly are.
Yeah, and I think also not carrying any guilt with it. Particularly if it's something that's being very repetitive with us, it's accepting it and then letting all of that go, just freeing yourself. And it's funny how part of this whole process that we went through in terms of our preparation, and then actually the experience of it, and then coming through the other side, it really highlighted to us where we were as individuals, and also the work that Caroline just spoke about that we carried out with ourselves and then with some other people as well. And it really was transformative and reawakening. It really invigorated us, and it started to develop so much more in creating changes, or the necessary changes that we need to step into this progression towards this new world, a new way of existing.
And there's been, you know, we are going to have more guests on the show, and one of the subjects that's very close to my heart, and this is, I feel this energy's coming back from there, is the energy of Lemuria. And Lemuria was a past infinite energy that was a beautiful place on planet Earth. A lot of the beings that incarnated there lived very long lives, lived in a greater harmony with nature, a greater harmonic convergence and connection to themselves, to their divinity, to their true self, and lived very organically, very caring for one another, accepting of one another, you know. And I think this is the energy that we are now moving back into, and that's why I say it's almost like a reset, that we're reconnecting and remembering the truth of who we are, that we are divine, that we have got this immense divine power within us that we can use to manifest and create good in this life, with compassion, with truth, with justice, with so much kindness and gentleness, and as I said, just much more organically. Instead of, you know, I think there's some things, some agencies that we were going to mention briefly, that you may have heard of this geoengineering, and that is creating a lot of these weather systems intentionally. And you were going to mention about Dubai.
It was very much in Dubai. They actually, I think they refer to it as cloud seeding.
Yeah, cloud seeding.
And in Dubai, they were interfering with things in a way to try and, I can't remember if it was to try and stop it or to create heavy rain. And it did, and they were flooded.
Yeah.
And to a degree that they've never ever experienced before.
And they openly admitted it.
Yeah.
They openly admitted that they'd done this, that they had modified the weather systems, but when there was an outcry and people were very upset about it, they retracted that. So we're not going to go too deeply in it, but we would urge you to do your research on geoengineering and on cloud seeding, because we do need to speak out about this. This is something that they're messing with the laws of nature, and it is not a good thing for planet Earth. It is not a good thing for humanity, because when they're injecting chemicals into the atmosphere, it's affecting us. They're saying there's a lot more neurological diseases like Alzheimer's and things. It's affecting people with respiratory diseases, with allergies, with asthma, because it's coming in through the atmosphere, through, you may have heard of, the chemtrails. You know, there's so much that I used to think was just conspiracy, but now we're realising, because they are openly admitting this, that we need to try and do something to say, no, this is not acceptable. It's affecting our health. It's getting into the soil, you know. So I would encourage you to really do your research on this geoengineering
and I think that's a
weather
key,
manipulation.
And I think that's a key thing, that these things are making their way down onto the earth and into the soil. And that's then affecting everything. It's affecting our food supply chain, and it's affecting our water as well.
Yeah, it is.
It's something is very important.
Yeah.
But and I think really, as we allow ourselves to become educated about things, but not to allow it to start stressing us out, not to allow it, because as soon as we go into that energy, that's what causes a restriction. And as you all know, the energy we create within ourselves is the energy that goes out there into the universe. And so if we're creating a more stifled, stagnant, fearful energy within us, then that is the energy that we're sending out.
Yeah, it's just not, as always, you know, we say don't feed this fear, don't feed the anxiety. Make yourself aware of these things, but stay connected to your true self. So you're kind of observing it from your eagle's perch. It isn't affecting you. You're aware of it, but you're doing something more positive about it. You're remaining peaceful. You're remaining calm, because then we can create or act more consciously and peacefully, and make a difference. Like the coming together of the light workers and the energy workers did do quite clearly, in my mind, quite miraculously over these past hurricanes.
Yeah.
So,
and I think as well that when you were saying about the Lemurians and that energy and that heightened consciousness, we know that it's existed before on this earth plane.
Yeah.
And really what we're heading into now through these changes that we're making and striving through in creating that greater inner peace and tranquility, we start to reconnect and start to remember that we're a part of that same energy and that consciousness. And it's being reawakened within us. We're being reconnected in a much stronger way that's going to take us forward to this new world that we've all been talking about.
Yeah, and I know that we've said before, you know, we've all chose to be here at this time because we wanted to help usher in through the wisdom as ourselves, through the power, the empowerment of ourselves, and in really embodying the consciousness of our higher selves to be expressed on this earth, so we can bring back these ways of living. You know, it might take, it's not going to take a year or two, it might take 10, 20, 30 years, but we have to start. And I believe that acceleration of those energies is with us now. We're moving into this age of what they call Aquarius, an age of greater healing, of greater gentleness, of greater awareness. So be aware of things you want to release, things you want to let go of that you know are negative, that are not nourishing you, and keep moving in that direction to raise your frequency and vibration. So I can hear Jarama coming through. I'm really excited as always to hear what they have to say, and I'm going to sit back and allow them to share with us their wisdom. Welcome, Jarama.
Hello, my friends.
Hello.
We are very privileged to share this time with you. And this is part of our journey. As you have chosen to tread your pathway upon this physical plane, we have chosen to remain in non-physical and assist in your journey. For as we are all connected, we are all on this movement forward to a greater expansion. no matter where we are within life. And we wanted to say to you that now is a time for action. Now is a time to stand up and to do what you need to do. Do not put it off until tomorrow. Allow yourselves to take action now. And that first action is to clear away the clutter. Clear away those aspects that you no longer need within your life. And as has been spoken about with these storms that have taken place more recently, it has highlighted just what you can do when you are maybe deprived of certain other aspects that you would normally take for granted. So allow yourselves to create a greater simplicity within who you are, because with that simplicity becomes an energy that is more repeatable. And through that simplicity, you can create a greater clarity within yourself. And with that greater clarity will come more eminently an energy of more discernment. Because as you make space within your lives, as you clear away this clutter, you can start to see things more clearly for what they are. And you can more consciously decide to connect to those things that will create a more fulfilling life for you. If your vision is one for moving towards this new earth, as it is often termed, but really it is this more awakened consciousness in this physical existence. It is important for you to take those steps now. Do something simple. Allow yourself to create more stillness or times of stillness, because in those times you are almost like recharging yourselves. And as you become recharged with that positivity, it becomes harder for any negative energies to reside within you. As you allow yourselves to be fully recharged with this positive energy, you start to think in more creative ways. You start to head in a direction that is more appropriate for the energies that you are resonating within. So allow yourselves time to be yourself, not what others want you to be. Honor who you are now. Don't wait and think, well, I'll honor myself when I get to be such and such. Honor who you are now. That does not mean that you do not wish to make changes, but you are allowing yourself then a greater freedom to step into those changes. And often when we think of taking action from points of a negativity, then we are really often creating a greater confusion. So allow yourself to be you, because that is who you have come here to be. You've come here to be you, but not just you, the expanded you. And these are important times towards that achievement. Remember, you are an infinite divine energy, and that energy has existed on the earth plane before, and it will do so again if you choose to. And as has been spoken about, this coming together of communities, that all begins with yourself. Because as you create that more peaceful energy within yourself, you allow your own wisdom to come forward and to help guide you. And as that wisdom comes forward to guide you, it will take you to the best place possible, because it only wants what is best for you. Allow yourself to move with that. Let go of the restriction Let go of the resistance and allow yourself to be all that you can be. You are immense beings. You are beautiful beings, just as you are. Accept it. See yourself through the eyes of spirit and ask yourself, what is the right thing for me to do in this given moment? And ask yourself that on a regular basis. Is what I am doing in resonance with that higher frequency? Is it adding to me in a positive way, or is it taking away from me? So allow yourself to be you. Allow yourself to shine, even when there may be those around you who are not as radiant. Do not feel that you should hide away, but rather allow yourself to shine more, so that you become a greater beacon to assist others in showing them what is possible, what can be achieved. And you will find that as you reconnect to that truth of you, this greater wisdom and understanding will come forward. And that is what will recreate on earth this expanded way of living. And it is nothing to fear. It is nothing to be fearful of. But also it is nothing to create your stress within your lives if you are not progressing as fast as you wish. The key is relaxation, letting go, switching off, finding stillness, increasing that peacefulness and the tranquility within you, within yourself. Letting go of continually chasing that next external thing, because often that is just a distraction. Now, we are not saying that there is anything wrong with wanting more or wanting other things. We do not allow them to become a distraction, taking you away from your true pathway. Because often when you are almost become fanatical about a certain something externally, it really is showing that there is something missing within. And any journey and every journey starts with yourself on an inner level, remembering that inner essence of you is infinite. So whatever you do with love, or rather we would say, do with an infinite love. For that is the truth of who you are. And with that, my friends, we will say goodbye for now. But remember, life is not meant to be a struggle. It only becomes a struggle if you think of it in those terms of that energy. So be free, my friends. Free yourself and live a wondrous, joyful, expanded life that is filled with love, understanding, and a great wisdom from within yourself. Goodbye for now, my friends.
Thank you so much. Love to all. Thank you. Still that beautiful energy that comes through with them. So thank you to Jarama. So I'd just like to take this opportunity to say to all of you, there's a few of you that have joined us every month from when we started doing these live broadcasts. Thank you from the bottom of our heart. It really has and does mean the world to us. And we just really appreciate you being with us, supporting us, because it's helped us to expand and to grow and to move into what we're coming into next, which is this exciting time. So those of you, most of you joined from Florida, so we know, we'll still be seeing you all. We still have our meditation groups, and we are going to be starting up some new things as well. So we'll be in touch and letting you know what that is. But if you are joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you. Please like the video on YouTube. Please share it. And Paul has a question to get some conversation going, because we'd like to do more of this moving forwards with the podcast. Get the conversation going. Get that feeling of community in the comments. So we urge you and encourage you and ask you please to do that. So what's this question, Paul?
So really, we just wanted to get some feedback from yourselves to let us know, how do you visualize the world we're moving towards?
Yes.
Just let us know. Let us know your visions.
Yes.
And your hopes and dreams.
Yes. How do you see this new earth, or this awareness that's opening within us, this expansion taking place? That would be wonderful. So again, thank you to all those of you that joined us live. Thank you to all those that support us on YouTube. Thank you so much. Please keep sharing. Make sure you have subscribed. Feel our love. Feel the love from Jurama.
And feel the love from myself, as always. And that just leaves us to say,
Namaste. We love you.